What if the hardest part of starting a podcast isn't speaking into a microphone, but turning a random idea into something people actually want to hear? That is the real journey behind every great show. And today, I want to walk you through the 5 most fascinating steps to building a successful podcast, from a rough idea to a real launch. Because podcasting isn't just about recording episodes. It is about designing attention, building trust, and creating a format people come back to. First, the idea. A lot of people start with, quote, "What topic am I passionate about?" end quote. But a better question is, what topic can I keep exploring in a way that is useful or entertaining to other people? The best podcast ideas usually sit at the intersection of 3 things: what you know, what you care about, and what an audience needs. For example, instead of business, you could do how small businesses survive the first year, instead of fitness. Maybe fitness for people who hate fitness. That makes the idea more specific, which matters because specificity creates a clearer promise. And a clear promise makes it easier for listeners to instantly understand why they should care. Next, the format. This is where the show becomes repeatable. Will it be solo, interview-based, a co-hosted debate, a short daily show? The mechanism here is simple. Formats reduce friction. If every episode has a structure, you spend less energy deciding what to do next, and listeners know what to expect. A great example is a podcast where every episode starts with a quick story, then a main lesson, then one practical takeaway. That structure makes the content feel organized, even if the topic changes every time. Third, build your content engine. This means creating a system for finding episode ideas that won't run dry after 3 uploads. You can mine questions from Reddit, YouTube comments, interviews with friends, industry news, or your own daily experiences. Why is this useful? Because consistency beats bursts of inspiration. A content engine turns podcasting from "I need a great idea" into "I have a reliable process." For instance, if your podcast is about career growth, one episode could be about negotiation scripts, another about burnout, another about making a first impression in interviews. Same audience, endless angles. Fourth, the recording and packaging stage. This is where a good show becomes clickable. Audio quality matters, but not because it has to sound like a Hollywood studio. It matters because clarity signals trust. And packaging, meaning the title, cover art, and episode description, matters because people don't hear your podcast first, they see it first. A title like Episode 7 is invisible. But why most side hustles fail in 30 days creates curiosity and tells the listener exactly what they will get. That is the mechanism. Strong packaging lowers uncertainty. People are more likely to click when they can quickly understand the value. Finally, launch. A successful launch isn't just pressing publish, it is creating momentum. That can mean releasing 3 episodes at once, asking early listeners for feedback, posting clips on social media, or inviting guests who already have an audience. The goal is to reduce the empty room effect. If people find your show and there is only 1 episode, they may not stick around. But if there is a small library, they can binge and get attached faster. So the path is simple but not easy. Choose a specific idea, lock in a repeatable format, build a system for content, package it clearly, and launch with momentum. That is how a podcast stops being just an idea and starts becoming something people return to. And honestly, that is the fascinating part. You are not just making episodes. You are building a habit in someone else's life. If you want, I can also turn this into a version with stronger hooks, more humor, or a more documentary-style tone. From idea to launch, the 5 most fascinating steps to building a successful podcast is just one small part of Podcasting 101. If you are interested, our full free Podcasting 101 course is linked in the description.